Everyone doing today? Good, thank you. So my name is Jason Yao. I manage the online acquisition and retention channels for L'Oreal. With that said, I manage specifically two brands, Redken and Pureology. Just quick poll. Who here in the house has actually used either Redken Fifth Avenue or Pureology? Wonderful. I'll get your names and maybe I'll give you all free products afterwards.
My wife would appreciate that.
Oh, your wife would like that? So today I really want to talk about this path to purchase, but then give you an insight look at how we maximize our social capacity and what we do internally in-house. So hopefully this will give you an inside peek of what a beauty brand life is day to day. So for those who do not know L'Oreal USA, we have a strategic portfolio of 29 different brands, from Maybelline, Garnier, Kiehl's, Lancome. One thing that makes my job interesting is working in this division, the professional products division. We cater solely to the salon community. So if you guys know you're a hairdresser, stylist, it's a very interesting group. We have an exclusive network of distributors who actually service these salons communities, going in there, selling our hair care, hair color, hairstyling products. So we're a true B2B business model in the fact that we have to really cultivate this network and activate this network of salon professionals, salon hairdressers. For us, we're also a B2C because we have to really generate this awareness with our consumers to train them, to teach them that they actually have to go into a salon to buy our products. So with that said, let's kick off with a quote, Gary Vaynerchuk. Basically, he says, social media isn't a fad. It's a culture shift. We all know that in this room. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here. But for us in Redken Pureology, it definitely resonates with us because we know that there's always this ongoing conversation happening about our brands 24/7. For us, we have to be empowered not only to create conversations, but intercept, to monitor, to steer and curate these conversations that happen, to really curate and steer them to a direction where we want to go. One of the biggest challenges that organizations and companies face today in social media is social capacity. That's the degree to which a brand can effectively engage in social discovery, strategy, management, implementation. So for us, and for me today to show you, I want to just really talk about how we would maximize capacity. How many of you have seen this picture before? This is the traditional sales linear funnel. If marketing had a single goal, for us it'd be to reach the consumers at the moments that most influence their decisions. We think about these moments, these touch points. We've always thought about it in the metaphor of a funnel. But now we know that it's outdated. Instead of having that consumer start with a large set of brands and us marketing push messaging down their throat, hoping to push them through that funnel to pick that one winning brand, we now know it's a circular journey. McKinsey Quarterly rolled out the report 2009, iterations 2010, calling this a consumer path to purchase or a consumer decision journey. There's 4 stages I want to just quickly go over with you. These 4 stages are key battlegrounds for where marketers can either win or lose out on a consumer. For L'Oreal, we take this consumer path to purchase really seriously. We look at our marketing campaigns initiatives. We go through each stage thinking where our growth opportunities are, where our weaknesses are, where our strengths are. We know, just like most companies, most beauty brands, we spend a lot of our resources in the first stage of consideration. We need to generate this awareness with our professionals in the salons and then generate engagement with our consumers. However, with this expansive evaluation phase, this is one of our key areas of focus. People are always constantly searching for a solution, asking for peer-to-peer recommendation, so we've amped up our search marketing strategies as well as leverage social media in this phase. In the end, someone's going to buy. When that buy ends, when that buy happens, we know that the next stage is the most important stage for us at Redken Pureology. It's really building advocacy. Our goal is really to create a group of evangelists to spread that brand DNA out to the salons, to the consumers. So for us, social media is really important to really build these communities on these platforms. We had a vision statement 2 years ago. For L'Oreal, we wanted to integrate owned, earned, paid with all social strategies. We need to engage the community and influence our consumers to go into the salons. So a lot of times people ask me, so what platforms does a beauty brand choose? We have different stats happening, popping up every day. We know about Pinterest, we know about Tumblr. What is good for the millennials? What's good for women? For us, we had to really look at our community and see where they're living and breathing. Instead of thinking, be everywhere like some brands are, we have to be where it matters to our business. Here are the 5 platforms. You've heard of the first 2. Actually, you've heard of the first 4. Facebook and Twitter. This is where our consumers, this is where our stylists are living and breathing. We also participate in the playing field of Foursquare, as well as YouTube. But then we have a niche community that we built. It's called the Break Room. If you download our Style Station app, quick little plug, it's really for professionals only. It's giving the professional stylists a safe space, a safe haven to really talk about products, services that worked for them at L'Oreal, or mishaps in the salon. It's a safe space, safe haven, and you can find that on our Style Station mobile app. So here's a word cloud of all the different goals we're trying to achieve in Redken and Pureology. You can see from sampling to product promotions to sales driver. In the middle and the heart of it is all about brand awareness, building this community, customer engagement. I'm going to show you a few examples after I'm done with this spiel to show you what we actually are doing on our platforms today. So before I go into content strategy, I really want to show you our evolution of how we internally have this manpower and resources to deal with all these conversations happening on the social web. 2 years ago, I joined L'Oreal USA. This is quite shocking. If you look at the structure, we had 4 devoted, well, I'm sorry, not 4 devoted members, but 4 employees working in PR, marketing, interactive, and communications. Each of them handled a community, so you can call them community managers. They've only spent 3 hours in the whole week, this happened 2 years ago, 3 hours a week to manage these large communities, large channels. Well, if you ask me, that was an epic fail. We knew it was a very bad experience for our users, from checks and balances that are not in place to unoptimized content. 9 of the 10 questions that were asked were unanswered. We always think about this analogy, my friend told me. When we're talking to our consumers, we're like picking up the phone like a salesperson. We start our conversation. When they ask a question we don't want to hear, it's awful, but it seems like we hang up right at the end. So we knew we had to do something about this structure. Phase 2, a few months after I restructured it, we had the first company-wide cross-departmentalized team in L'Oreal USA. For Redken and Pureology, we took 20 existing employees and we made them and trained them into be social media tech nerds, basically. And what they did was, throughout the week, they would work together in different hubs for each of our platforms. We had someone from PR, we had someone from brand marketing. But what's unique about our business model is we needed people who understood hair. We pulled people in from this department called education. They're the ones who actually go into the salons, teach the stylists how to use our products, how to color hair. So now we have another department on board that can actually help and speak to the consumers as well as speak to the professionals. So here's the problem. Still at this point, we had content on one side, we had customer service on one side. That's being handled now with this 20-person team. We lack the strategy. So how do we bridge the gap? We're moving to this phase 3 as I speak right now. I'm basically devoted all my energy to social media, but then look down below. Those 20 people became what we called a content factory. Because we're such an interesting business with salon professionals, hairdressers, stylists, fashion, and then also our consumers, our females 18+, we had to really make an effort in building great content. We all know the theme for the day is like content is king. So we definitely agreed with that statement, and we have to actually create innovative, out-of-the-box, socially angled content that we actually use now on our other web properties. This is a fun snapshot of all 20 people. You can see how many people it takes to really keep us afloat. So let's talk about content. Just to review again, we have two audiences. First is a salon professional. So one of our intentions is really to create brand loyalty through education in promoting our products and services. Second, if you know a stylist, they don't want to hear from the corporate overlords, this evil large corporation. We had to adopt a really different niche tone to cater to the salon professionals. We had to understand what they liked, what they didn't like, the type of pop culture they were into, and that's how we started relating to this community. For a consumer, same thing, it's a different audience. How do we create this brand engagement, brand awareness? How do we generate this lift? And then second, how do we train them to actually go into a salon, to go onto redken.com, to our salon locator, to find a salon to get these products? These are our two issues, and these are our two audiences. So moving right along, we have to think about content calendar, scheduling. How does this work for such a large, well, two beauty brands that I'm talking about? If you look at these verticals, you can see here, but they're all divided by months. Months from product launches, cause marketing initiatives, PR, digital initiatives, and in the heart of it is social. Every month we change our theme, but every department knows that at the heart we really have to think socially, social by design. Facebook coined that term. For us, it resonates. What does that mean? We have to make sure whatever our messaging is, that the consumers, that our audiences will actually care, and then second, that they'll actually share this information. So this has been a corporate-wide type of mentality, a shift for us to make social the center, the heart of everything we do. So here in the next 20 slides, I just want to give you a few examples of the content that we're producing, what the team is doing. I want to analyze one of our campaigns and then talk about where we're going from here. So our product launch happened 2 months ago, a service launch, one of the most largest service launch for L'Oreal. It's called Chromatics. Chromatics, we needed to tease the launch because it's all about hair color, to empower women to go into a salon to get their hair color. Well, look at this. These are 2 posts we started a few days ago to actually tease the launch. On the left, we talk about the evolution of cell phones. Then on the right, you see the evolution of computers. The reason is that we had to lead it up with our theme of that chromatics is this hair color evolution, this breakthrough. So consumers started guessing, professionals started guessing what we were doing. On the day of the launch, actually, I'm sorry, it was a few months ago, 2 months ago, is when Timeline was released. Great timing, right? So we integrated all the visuals that they will see on our online properties as well as our offline collaterals and in-salon collateral with this redhead model right there to unify the theme of chromatics. We started uploading aspirational photos. It's all about color, so we did autumn leaves for the redheads that wanted to get their hair as brilliant, as vibrant as this picture. We started linking to articles from our celebrity colorist. Photos. We know with Timeline, imagery is so important for us. And one thing we did, if you work in a beauty company, you might not know, but we have hair days. We gave all our employees a hair color makeover. What we did to leverage this opportunity was our social teams went in there, did a whole photo shoot, videos, to really show our consumers that we walk the walk and not just talking. Talk about tone, adopting a human voice. We're Redken 5th Avenue NYC, so we try to tout that we're a bit snarky and dry. That first post, click like if you do not even remember what your natural hair color is. In 10 minutes, we got 629 likes. This is all about simple engagement. We do want that earned media of testimonials, and you'll see how that happens in the next few slides. But what we found successful is this click-like strategy, or fill in the blanks. This is the response. We got salons sending in group photos of our clients, of them getting their hair colored with this new revolutionary hair color service. We have before and afters. This image right there had over 50 comments just asking about our service. It opened up the gateway for us to really talk to our consumers. Professionals, these hairdressers, started doing professional photo shoots. Then they started uploading the photos to show their consumers, show the other professionals, the salon professionals, their work. It was all about celebrating their wins, celebrating their achievements. The response, it started flowing in. Not only photos, we got testimonials. We used these testimonials then on our product boxes, on our packaging. Then we go to user-generated content. We leverage this opportunity. We know that people wanted to talk about themselves and show off with their imagery. So we said, the first 300 people to upload to our channels, we will pick 100 photos. We then took those 100 photos that we chose to be on Redken.com. So if you go on Redken.com right now and look at our style galleries, half of it now is user-generated. The other half is Redken-branded properties. Our team decided to starify our top 10 products. We found a different way to do this. We called it the New York City Product Tour. On the top in the middle, you can see our bestsellers called Guts. What we did a photo shoot around New York to really show that this product have guts. We put them in the highest skyscrapers. And then we did, on the right, we had Nature's Rescue, all about paraben-free, silicone-free, healthy to the environment. So we did another photo session at all the landmarks that was green, with nature, with parks in New York. Here, we're very lucky in a beauty company. We have a lot of pretty employees. So we definitely use them as models, again, to humanize the brand. Other fashion houses, DKNY, Diane von Furstenberg, they do this as well. We wanted to crowdsource, get the opinions of our consumers and professionals. We were focusing the theme on updos. So happens to be that Sam was getting married in 2 weeks. So we did a photo shoot with her with 3 updo looks. We asked the consumers to pick which look they wanted her to walk down the aisle in. And then we're about to release the results. Second, this is one of our top viral photos on Facebook. This is a member from our PR team, Christy McQuaig. We always wanted to showcase step-by-step looks. But in this promotion, if you buy one of our shampoo conditioners from Pureology, you're going to get a gift. You're going to get this hairband. So we wanted to show the different usage of this hairband. In an hour, we got around 8 million, estimated 8 million social viral impressions. 50 people from the salon community shared this image also to their salon Facebook page. This is pretty powerful. And when we showed this to senior management, this definitely resonated with them too. Sampling. For us, one of our main key elements in Redken Pureology, we're not e-commerce. We have to drive to the salon. So we have a statistics. After doing a lot of market research, we found out that 95% after you sample our product, you will actually go in and buy. So on Pureology Facebook, we have a custom app that will allow you to enter to win. And throughout the year, we constantly do Facebook paid ads to make sure we can generate new likes, new fans into the community. Last but not least, I want to talk about one of our social campaigns that was a real true success. If you look to the slide, it's called the Virgin campaign. Yes, I said virgin. For those who didn't know what virgin means in our industry, in the hair industry, is for women and men who's never colored the hair before. They're a Redken virgin. So what we did, knowing that this launch was going to happen this year, last year we amped up. We wanted to have a photo contest. We asked females 18 and plus to submit their photo, upload it to our app. What happened after that was you got a stamp on your forehead, stamp on your t-shirt saying that you're a Redken virgin and you need to lose it to us. It's quite simple, right? They can then, first, a push notification happened to their news feed saying they need to get votes from their friends and they want to lose their virginity and then win by going to LA to get a hair color makeover by our celebrity colorist. This campaign generated around 10 to 15 earned media and viral impressions. Over 6,000 people participated, and we received around 50% email opt-in rates, as well as 30,000 votes. To us, if you look at the 29 brands in L'Oreal USA, Redken and Pureology, we're one of the smaller brands. This is a big success for us, and we actually integrated all our strategies from search engine marketing, driving people who are looking to have their hair colored to this tab, from online advertising with specific partnerships with different publishers, driving them as well. And then our own Facebook community team had to really monitor, had to be there 24/7 because you can only imagine the type of responses that we got during this month with the Virgin campaign. So last but not least, I want to tell you where we're moving forward. As content is king, we're working with Infinigraph. Actually, the CEO is here today. Where's Chase? There you go. You're going to be hearing from him in a panel discussion later. But what they do is a technology called hyper-curation. What that is basically it's an intelligent content aggregation system. They're going to help us. They're going to look at Redken and Pureology's fans and followers on our Facebook page, on our Twitter profiles. They're going to analyze them based on their interests. And then they're going to tell us what brands, what other companies they follow that they like. Then they're going to look at the editorial content that's being pushed out. And with this editorial content, it's going to come to us in real time, and it's going to give us that decision for our 20-person team to really understand if we want to re-angle it, repurpose it, and push it back out. So this is really going to streamline a lot of our processes in L'Oreal USA. We haven't actually started the actual launch of this experiment. We've done a lot of prep work for it, but we're definitely looking forward to it. There's projections that there's going to be an increase of 30% in engagement rates. So I'm definitely looking forward to starting up this project. But hopefully I gave you a really true glimpse of what a day in the life of in beauty brands and beauty companies today. So thank you for your time. If there's any questions, I think I have a few minutes, Kathy,
Right,
to do this.
yeah. Do we have questions here?
Questions?
Oh,
Yes.
right there.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to know how, sorry, I'm Piper McIndoffler from Venda. I wanted to know how you mentioned that you have two different audiences on your pages.
Yeah.
Now, how do you talk in both brand voices on one platform?
It's really interesting. We found a lot of overlap in both audiences. We have to be very specific when we are talking to the salon industry to not exclude our consumers, right?
Right.
So we always try to find this uniform tone, uniform voice that can actually fit both audiences. So if we do a post, we'll make sure not to ignore the consumers.
Right.
So we give them an opportunity to also answer the post as well. There are certain points in the day that we will actually write up calling all hairstylists.
Okay.
And our consumers are trained now that they are actually trained to not answer at this point. Our stylists are answering, but then they'll actually have more conversations, and then it opens up a whole new topic for us.
So do you see your stylists that are a fan of your page actually answering some questions of your own consumers?
That's a great point. It happens all the time.
Okay.
For us, we have to really know when to shut up
Right.
or when to talk.
Right.
And we do let these advocates, our salon professionals, because they're the real people who work with our consumers, to talk for us.
Okay.
So 80% of the time, if we don't respond right away, we'll just check to see if one of our hairstylists in the networks replies for us.
That's great.
So,
Thank you.
no, thank you.
Another question?
Anyone else?
I of course always have a question, but I was kind of curious about when you went through this big reorg and real expansion of the social team, kind of what kind of hurdles you had to jump internally, and how many of those people were kind of pulled from other areas, and whether you also had to staff up, because that's not an easy discussion to say, hey, we want to go to 20 people from 3, we're spending 3 hours a week or whatever. Yeah.
So these 20 people, just to clarify, they're not fully dedicated. They're still working in their existing departments. But to get to that point, I did a roadshow. I did a whole presentation for 12 of our VPs of L'Oreal to get their buy-ins, to understand the importance of social. Then we had to select the right people who were social media savvy enough to be part of this team. So this whole transition took about 3 months to get the trainings involved. We got our online advertising agencies of records, our other third-party vendors we were working at that time to come in do this training. But it was a very long process. We did find some pushback, Kathy, but with that said, that will always happen in a very large corporation here.
Yeah, 3 months seems actually relatively fast.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thank you very much, Jason. That was terrific. Thanks.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.